us an opportunity to present our company in their conference. My name is Jorge Ramiro Roy. I am the CEO of Reyna Silver, and we're a silver exploration company listed in the Toronto Stock Exchange. Our ticker is RSLV. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why you would want to look at investing in our company. We are a company that originated from doing a deal with Max Silver for two of their original assets. These were two assets that Peter McGaw, who's one of the co-founders of Max Silver, had put together in the 90s with two primary characteristics. Number one, high-grade silver potential, and number two, district scale potential. And these properties, Guigui and Batopilas, which we received from Max Silver, who, by the way, is our largest shareholder, are two properties that Peter McGaw put together in the 90s and that became part of Max Silver's original IPO. And Max Silver, of course, a very successful exploration company. They're about to go public, about to go into production in what will be one of the most high-grade silver mines in the world later next year. And so these two assets that we received from them about 3 years ago, we did a deal with Max Silver, where we committed to advancing those projects in a dedicated. So we have management ownership of roughly 18%. Also, we have institutional ownership of over 40%, and we're well funded with about $11.8 million in cash. Let me tell you a little bit about our portfolio of assets. We have four main assets, and again, all of them share this characteristic, which is high-grade silver with district scale potential. Our four primary assets are actually in the context of former producers or right next to former producers, historic districts, and many of them have had drilling before in the past by Max Silver. So Guigui is our flagship asset. Then we have Batopilas, which also came from Max Silver, and is a former producing mine. It was actually Mexico's highest grade silver producer up until 1910. And then we have Reyna and Medicine Springs, which we just recently acquired. To give you a little bit of sense and context of where we see the upside for Reyna Silver, this is where we sit in our table of comparables. I think companies that you might want to look at for a comparable to Reyna Silver are companies like Vizsla, Kootenay Silver, Minorum. I say this because these are companies that have high-grade silver intersects. However, they don't have a resource yet. And really what drives the peer group of companies like ours is high-grade intersect. So when you have a high-grade drill intersect over a reasonable length, and you're able to prove to the market that you have the potential for a high-grade silver deposit, the reality is that have been so few silver discoveries in recent times that the market is quite hungry for silver discoveries. So really one of the big catalysts for a stock in our peer group are the potential for high-grade silver results. And of course, that the project is in the context of a viable commercial silver project. I believe we have that potential in our main flagship asset, Guigui. But that potential also exists in our other three projects. To tell you a little bit about our team is led by Peter McGaw, who's our Chief Technical Advisor. He is, of course, the Chief Exploration Officer at Max Silver. His commitment with Reyna Silver is on an advisory basis, and it's 5 days a month. However, Peter is leading a team of geologists that are working full-time for Reyna Silver. These geologists have been working both for Peter and for Max Silver for the past, some of them I think close to 25 years. And really, on their own right, are a tremendous team with expertise, especially in the kind of deposits that we have, CRDs. There is probably not too many other teams in Mexico that have this level of expertise and this level of success. Peter, of course, is credited with the Municipio discovery for Max Silver and the Valdecañas vein, Cinco de Mayo, all of them major silver deposits. And the Platosis project also Peter has been involved with. And then we also have Doug Kerwin, who is a former VP of Ivanhoe Mines and took part in the Oriontologo discovery. Let me tell a little bit about our assets. First of all, first and foremost, about Guigui. This is a project that's our flagship. It sits in the Santa Eulalia district in Mexico. And this is a historic district that has produced a staggering 500 million ounces of silver with grades of, on average, of 310 grams per ton silver with 15% lead zinc combined. Now, if you look at the map, this production that I just described to you, that 500 million ounces, have come primarily from two mines that are to our east and west. The San Antonio mine, that's owned and operated by Grupo Mexico, and the Potosí mine, which is a historic mine that's currently toll milling to San Antonio. The San Antonio mine at the moment is under care and maintenance because of a flooding event, but my understanding is that it's scheduled to reopen at some point in the future. So what's unique about this system, this CRD system, Santa Eulalia, is Mexico's largest known CRD system. And what's unique about it is, you know, in a CRD system, you have two main components, which are the chimneys and then the skarn, as you see in this model that I put on the slide. And what's unique about this deposit, about this system, is that that 500 million ounces of silver production have exclusively come from the chimney portion of the system. And what has never been discovered for the whole district is the skarn, which typically holds the largest portion of the CRD system. And you know, Peter McGaw actually did his PhD in this district. He lived at the Potosí mine for about a year, spent a number of years mapping the property in detail, and actually the CRD model that you see here has become one of Peter's contributions to exploration geology for these kind of systems. And it's obviously being used by Peter for his discoveries with Max Silver. However, it's also being used as a footprint for other CRD discoveries, including the Taylor deposit from Arizona Mining. So there are a number of indicators that point towards the source of the CRD being in the property that we hold. There are expressions that surface, expressions that come also from a very sophisticated set of geophysics that Max Silver took when they had the project. And these, for a number of reasons, were never able to be followed up with drilling. We can see here that these strong anomalies, in combination with the historic drilling for Max Silver, in combination with the work that we've been doing since we took over the project, which is extensive mapping, sampling, reinterpretation of the geophysics, satellite imagery, and obviously taking into account the previous drilling, we've generated targets that we are now just awaiting for our permits. We think we'll receive them in the next 4 to 6 weeks at the most. Potentially, we could receive them before that. As soon as we receive them, we'll start a 10,000 meter drill campaign for this project. So again, this is our flagship asset. And with the short time that I have left, I'll give you a very brief introduction to our other assets. We have the Batopilas project, which is a former producer, was in production until 1910. It produced a staggering 350 million ounces of silver, where the average weight of the silver was 1.5 kilograms per ton. So, to my knowledge, the highest grade silver deposit that has ever been in production in Mexico. Now, interestingly, the mine shut down because of the war, not because it was depleted. And both Peter and Max Silver, what they did is they staked the old mine in the 90s. We which you see that cylinder in the image, but also the entire district, which is about 1,117 hectares. And it contains 30 known veins, all of which have historic production consistent with that kilo of silver per ton, and many of them have never been drilled. So we have a team at site at the moment. They're with the mandate of generating drill targets, so we can apply for permits and have this project drill ready in Q1 of 2021. Then we have the Medicine Springs project. This is a brand new acquisition. It's important to us because we took it on an option basis, and we wanted to have optionality to silver prices in a rising silver price, while maintaining our main focus and the majority of our resources on our flagship asset, Guigui. However, this asset was too good to pass. It's a Guigui lookalike, very similar in geological context. It's a CRD, and what you would call elephant country for CRDs in Nevada. And it shares a lot of the characteristics that you have. It has samples and surface that have 400 grams per ton silver, which is a threshold that we look at for a CRD that could be silver dominant with potential for high grade silver. And again, we just acquired it a month ago. We have a team at site next week and coming up with a work program. This project does have permits for drilling, so we'll be making a decision on how to proceed in this project in the coming weeks. And finally, an acquisition that we did about 2 weeks ago. This is a very exciting project called Reyna. It's a project that's about 90 kilometers from our flagship asset, Guigui. It's an epithermal silver deposit with, again, very high-grade historic silver grains. You can see here, we have what looks like 4.5 kilometers of strike with high-grade silver mineralization all through the strike. Historic workings that are from the Spanish vintage, mostly from the 1800s, and which have a number of very obvious targets where we think there is the potential for high-grade silver. We're also very close to the Cusi mine that's run and operated by Sierra Metals, I think about 14 kilometers away. And there's also room for expansion in the district. So again, to maybe share with you the exploration catalysts. First and foremost, at Guigui, we have 10,000 meters that we'll commence shortly. And then Batopilas, Reyna, and Medicine Springs, we're looking at having them drill ready by the beginning of next year. In summary, we have a team with a track record of multiple world-class silver discoveries. We have the potential for high-grade silver and district potential with all 4 of our main projects. We're well-funded, and we ask you to take a look at our company, and thank you for taking the time.